Hello. So I know that some of you had a hard time doing these angle puzzles, especially if you were not in school on Friday. So I figured I would make a video of how to complete all of the angles and how to find all of them and complete the puzzle. So I did make a quick video on Friday. I don't know if any of you saw it, but I figured some of you were maybe struggling. So I just tried to make a video to get you started. I don't know if that was helpful, but I'm going to go through all the angles now. So remember, you want to use the parallel lines and then things like corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, and consecutive interior angles as well. And then also you can use things like vertical angles and linear pairs. So I'm going to zoom in on this part of the puzzle. I'm going to start over here. So I see that I'm given that this is 58 degrees. Do we see how this angle and this angle, those are vertical angles. So angle A would be also 58 degrees. Then do we see how A and E are corresponding? So if A is 58, E is 58, because these lines that make them are parallel and corresponding angles are equal when the lines are parallel. Then C is vertical to E, or C is corresponding to that. So that's also going to be 58. And then do we see how S is either corresponding to C, or we can say alternate interior with E, which would also make it 58. So that takes care of some of them. Now, D and T are both going to be the same because they're corresponding to each other. Notice how like C and D make a linear pair, or E and D make a linear pair, or S and T make a linear pair. Remember, linear pairs add to 180. So if we do 180 minus 58, we get 122. So D is 122 and T is 122. Now for B is only this part. So notice that this entire angle, these two together, is corresponding to D. So this whole thing is 122. B is not 122 though. B is half of 122 because these two angles are equal. So if I do 122 divided by 2, I get 61. So B is 61. Now, do we notice B and W are corresponding? So we have these parallel lines with this transversal. So W is also 61. Now notice that W is in this triangle with this 90-degree angle, and then this one also. So if we do, the angles in a triangle add to 180. So if we do 90 plus 61 and then subtract from 180, we would get 29 here. And the reason why we have to find that one is a couple different reasons. This and X are alternate interior, so this would be 29. Or 29 and Y make a linear pair, so that would be 151. Okay, so that takes care of the left side of the puzzle. Let's go to this side. So I noticed that there's this 116 here. These are linear pairs. So this 180 minus 116 would be 64. G and 116 are vertical. I showed you in the video that this is 64, not 64, 52, because this is 64, and I talked about how this is an isosceles triangle, which we haven't learned yet. So that's why I told you that H was 52, because I figured you wouldn't know that. So H is 52. K I see is alternate interior with this 64. G and Q are corresponding, so that'd be 116. And then these two, Q and I, are a linear pair, so that would be 64 because they add to 180. That takes care of that middle part. Now let's go to this side. This side's pretty easy, actually. These two are vertical, so this is 75. These two are a linear pair, so 180 minus 75 is 105. This is corresponding to this and this, so they're all equal. They're all 105. Corresponding angles are equal. And then V is corresponding to this 75, so V is 75. And then N and M are vertical. So then that leaves R. R, this is 90, and these are a linear pair. 180 minus 90 is 90. So that takes care of puzzle number 1. Hopefully that makes sense now that you see it done. Please let me know if you end up still having questions. You can come on today and I can go through any of this with you. I'm going to go over the bottom one too while we're here. So I'll start on the left. So I noticed that these are a linear pair. That's 90, so this is 90. I notice these are vertical. So I guess to be successful for this, you really have to know your relationships. M and 75 are a linear pair, so M is 105. Let's see, we can't find Q yet. I don't think. In a second we can. So let's come up here. A is vertical to 64. B and 64 make a linear pair, so that's 116. Notice B and Q are corresponding. So there's this line, this transversal. So Q is also 116. If we come up here, 64 and D are corresponding, and then these are a linear pair. Or you could say like C and B are alternate exterior. Now, while D and K are corresponding, the lines that make them, this one and this one, are not parallel. So this would not be 64. This would not be 116. To get these, we have to use this transversal and these parallel lines. So let's shift over here, see what we can find. So I'm going to start down here with these angles that are given. So like this is 61, so this is going to be 119 because those have to add to 180. They're a linear pair. If this is 108, E is 108 because they're vertical. F is going to be 72 because those are a linear pair. Notice G and 108 are corresponding. G and H are a linear pair. G and I are corresponding. I and K are corresponding. S and K are a linear pair. Let's see, I and J are vertical. That's it. Oh, it wasn't too bad. So if you struggled, you just really have to know your properties and know your relationships and just use those parallel lines to help you. You did not have to do number 3. If any of you are interested in number 3, I can show you how to do that. All right, that's it. Let me know if you still have questions.